What's up, everybody? My name is Jeremy Jones and I'm back with another video. Today, I'm talking my weekly sneaker rotation, so stay tuned.
Got a lot of things changing in my life. Hoping one day I'ma get it all right. Brother is engaged, about to start a new life. Yeah, I haven't had a chill day. Really wanna vibe, appreciate the moments. I've been creating, not scrolling. Mom and dad still support.
Alright, man, I'm back with another video. Now, before I get too deep into this video, y'all already know what to do. Go and hit that like button. It really helps the channel out. And if you're new, consider subscribing. I made content about sneakers. Alright, so let's dive into today's video. Just like I said in the intro, man, I am back with another weekly sneaker rotation. Now, this should be week 142 to the best of my knowledge. And if I'm wrong, feel free to correct the kid down in the comment section. Now, y'all already know I started this series off at the beginning of 2023, and here we are. Pretty much it's week 142. Now, if you want to get a sneak peek of what I'm wearing throughout the week, sign up for that sold out Discord. The link is pinned at the top of the comment section, and it should be free to sign up for. Of course, we continue the sneaker talk, but we got a food section, a sports section, you name it. Of course, a music section, right? Okay. And anything else sneaker-wise, we got it in there. And just in case if I don't get the content out in time, you should probably most likely find the information in the Discord, right? Okay, so enough rambling, let's get into this weekly sneaker rotation. Now, I end things off on a Friday and pick right back up on Saturday. So pretty much this Saturday, the kid had to go to the chop shop, and probably by the time that I'm shooting this video, probably time to go back, right? Okay, and you'll probably catch a theme of what I wore throughout this whole entire week, right? Okay, so pretty much on Saturday, kid went to the chop shop and I stepped in none other one of my like old faithfuls, right? Okay, a shoe that, to be honest, quality wise, I feel like Jordan Brand should have did a better job. And I'm talking none other than the Air Jordan 4 Travis Scott, right? Okay, now this is the ones I think they dropped, I want to say roughly about 2017, 2018. I guess I could just check the production date on these guys. And what it looks like here on this one, it says 2018. Now I say all that to say, quality wise, and I don't know if the camera's gonna do this any justice, my toe box, bro, and to be honest, I don't feel like I wear this shoe enough for it to look in the condition that it is. Glue stain problems and what have you. But on feet, it looks great. And probably on camera, it looks even great. Again, Travis is right here, logo on the back of these joints right here. I actually do really like this shoe. However, like I said, I feel like the quality could have been just a little bit better. Now, I do my very best not to wear these when these joints are like raining outside or what have you. Now, I know there's like friends and family pairs, but again, this is kind of the one that I feel like that's only been released to the public. But this was my Saturday shoe, was the Air Jordan 4 Travis Scott. And ironically, and I don't know if the camera's gonna do this any justice, but actually on the tongue right there, if I bend the joint back, it actually shows like Travis Scott's like name in the tongue right there. So overall, dope shoe, as you can see. You know what, I'm surprised they didn't do like a glow in the dark feature on this, because usually they kind of do with Travis Scott's, but I guess like with this being like that blue model, I guess it wasn't necessary, right? Okay, so this was my Saturday shoe. Cool. We're gonna move right along on to Sunday. You know, the kid pretty much is prepping throughout the week, and pretty much it's family day, right? Now, sometimes I do step out on Sunday, but very rarely, right? Okay. Now, with that being said, that means I was in none other than the old faithfuls, the Yeezy Slides Pure Colorway. Y'all know I picked these joints up in 2021, and yes, my pair are very beat, but they're very comfortable. It's just pretty much I wear it around the house. And let me clarify this again for the people who don't know. No, I don't walk around in slides all day in the crib. Pretty much that means like if I'm in the area, if I'm not going too far, if I need to take the trash out or go to the mailbox, if I didn't check it throughout the week, you know, I just put these on, you know what I'm saying? These are my comfy vibes. This is what I do on Sundays for the most part. You know, I'm trying to just mentally prepare myself for the week ahead of me, because you know I work a full-time job, right? Okay, so this was my Sunday shoe, was a Yeezy Slide Pure Colorway. Cool, let's move right along on to Monday. The kid right back at the work. Again, you're gonna notice a theme here that should be a hint for the people that's been watching the channel for quite some time. And I stepped in none other than the Air Jordan 4 Bridge. Now, this isn't the most recent ones that just came out. This is the joints from back, I want to say 2019, right? Okay, obviously my co-worker who's a sneakerhead, he obviously knew what's up on these guys right here. Arguably one of my favorite shoes on my collection that I don't really wear enough. Again, quality wise on this, the toe box, for me to not wear the shoe as much, it seems like it's still kind of been through it, but it's not really that bad on feet if you see it. Obviously, Nike check on the back of these joints, and it features some of my favorite colors. Obviously, red, black, and then it has gray. Y'all know I always preach those colors. I always preach gray, if anything, right? Okay, but y'all know I wear red often, and then I feel like you can never go wrong with an overall black shoe. Definitely a classic shoe. Even Nike check on the bottom of these guys right here. Now, I remember when I got these joints, man, super dupe. And you know, I always rock my shoestrings loosey-goosey. And yeah, I mean, to be honest, this wasn't even a hard cop back then, which I thought it would have been. But this is a shoe I feel like people necessarily didn't sleep on, because I feel like the real true diehard sneakerhead fans really showed up. But overall, a classic timeless shoe, and I feel like you can't go wrong with it. Hence why I like when they did an updated version of this too. But this was my Monday shoe, was the Air Jordan 4 Bread. Cool. Now we're gonna move right along onto Tuesday. Right back at work, working full-time job now. Honestly, ironically, on Tuesday, it poured down raining, which it didn't start out that day, but I could tell it was gonna rain. But usually with my luck, I usually can avoid it, but I avoided it in the morning, but I couldn't avoid it in the afternoon when the kid got off work. So pretty much, kid stepped in. Tuesday, kid stepped in none other than the Air Jordan 4 Rare Airs, right? Okay. Now, I will say this. Super classic shoe. I know the tongue part right here pulls off, and I know these just recently came out. I feel like this is my first time actually rocking the joints since I actually got them, when I did get them wet today, which kind of made me sad, but I mean, I had to do what I had to do because I couldn't stay at work forever. But I feel like we'll see what they do after they dry, which are not really much wet anymore, and I did kind of cover them the best I can. But overall, dope shoe, classic. This is a shoe that we saw sitting, right? Okay, I mean, I pulled up, and I mean, I feel like anybody can get these, and they're still available probably by the time that I'm shooting this video. But I feel like over time, AKA probably this time next year, people are gonna look back and wish they probably copped these guys right here. I feel like they did a tremendous job. I think the Blue Laces do a great job making this shoe pop, man. It's just an overall good classic shoe. Nike check on the back. Y'all know I'm always gonna probably be a sucker for that, no matter how you slice it and dice it. And I will say this, like I was telling my sneakerhead coworker, when I wore these joints, I was like, yo, super comfortable shoe coming out the box. Because one thing about 4s, they usually come laced too tight, but once you get them laced right, to be honest, these shoes are now, I feel like they're getting the quality better where you don't have to really break them in right out the box. But that is an exception to every rule. But this was my Tuesday shoe, was the Air Jordan 4 Rare Air. Cool. Now let's move right along on to Wednesday. Kid right back at work. Again, y'all know I work a full-time job, so pretty much I stepped in none other than the Air Jordan 4 Union, right? Okay. Now this colorway, which obviously I got some stuff on the bottom of this joint, but I'm gonna pull it off here. This is one where it came out. This was one of those, I want to say back in 2020. Very definitely a tough cop, and with Union is always a tough cop. Yeah, this was produced in 2020, and I did have to pay resale for these, but these are the Union LA joints. Now I will say this, overall I feel like this is the best colorway they did as far as 4s, right? I know they did other colorways. I know they did like a pink colorway and then another colorway, but I feel like overall these are a good go-to shoe. Now I remember when the tongue was actually pulled down, everybody was like, it's kind of weird, but once I went on and just customized mine, because I really honestly don't plan on getting rid of mine, I feel like once I made it look like a regular 4, it looks great. You know what I'm saying? Now, one thing I will say about this joint is it definitely, most definitely with the material, it took a minute to break in. I'm not even gonna lie, dog. I mean, now it's fine, but I remember when I used to wear this joint, I used to be like, yo, I'm about to take these joints off after an hour. So I will say this, if you get a brand new pair out the box, so they fit a little tight, honestly, you just gotta have to wear them, right? Okay, but I feel like overall classic timeless shoe. I feel like this is probably arguably one of Union's best drops, considering what we got over the past few years as well. When they came out the gate swinging, they got it right, but you know how it goes sometimes, and we can put probably interchangeably a lot of collabs in there where they got it right the first time, and then after that they can never really like duplicate it, right? Okay, not trying to take shots at Union LA, but I will say still classic timeless dope shoe, and one of those, it was kind of like suspect at first, and then it kind of just grew on everybody. So this pretty much was my Wednesday shoe, was the Air Jordan 4 Union LA. Cool. Now we're gonna move right on to Thursday. At this point, you guys probably already seen the theme, and I had to run it back for the one time. So pretty much on Thursday, the kids stepped in none other than the Air Jordan 4, and these are the breads, but the reimagined. As you can see, the leather quality on these joints right here. I don't think I've worn these joints in quite some time, right? Okay, this is a shoe I feel like we didn't think was gonna really take off. Now, these was produced in 2023, but I will say this, I feel like I can't even remember when these actually came out. If it didn't come out this year, it came out last year, but still a shoe that arguably I should have wore more, right? Okay, I want to say it came out at the top. No, if it was produced in 2023, that means they dropped in 2024. Worst case scenario, right? Okay, I'll double check myself on the video before I drop it, but overall though, I remember like Manny with the kicks him inspired me to put the red laces in there, and it really helped the shoe pop even better, which is not like it really necessarily needed. And to be honest, I thought the Bread 4s, the original ones, like, or the ones we got back in 2019, they were already dope. I didn't think you could improve it, but Jordan Brand definitely found a way to do it. Nike check on the back really helped put the icing on the cake for me. And of course, we got the Nike logo on the back of the bottom of these joints, which is something we probably don't never see, but us sneakerheads probably pay attention to the shoes a little bit more detailed than the average Joe Schmo. But yeah, this was my Thursday shoe, man. Definitely need to wear these joints more. And yeah, I mean, I love this one. I almost could arguably say, right, if I put them next to the 2019 pair, I mean, to be honest, I would probably go with these. You know what I'm saying? I feel like this is super dope. So overall, this was my Thursday shoe. Was the Air Jordan 4 Bread Reimagined. Cool, now let's move right along on to Friday to close out the week strong. This is like a shoe that I feel like majority of the people saying like Jordan Brand didn't get it right, or they should have did this, that, and the third. I mean, it was like mixed feelings about the joint the whole entire time. So pretty much Friday to close out the week, kissed that in none other than the Air Jordan 4 Military Blue. Now me, I love my pair, right? Okay, y'all seen me rock these time and time again. Obviously, we have the Nike check on the back of these joints. How you know I've been rocking my joints? Look at my tag. As you can see, like, I don't know if the camera's gonna do this any justice, but I'm already scraping off the joint because, you know, like, I'm not gonna take this off because it's not that like chain that'll easily snap off here. Some people say they don't rock them, some people say they do. Me, to be honest, I kind of like to keep mine on if I know it's not gonna fall off, but if it tends to fall off, I tend to like, all right, cool, I don't wanna lose it, so I just keep up with it. But overall, y'all know me, I'm a black and red person, but these Military Blue 4s, when done right, I feel like, you know, I'm gonna be there every night. No pun intended, right? Okay, but it's definitely a timeless classic shoe. Now, I wanna say, and I'm gonna check the production date on these joints. Now, these was in 2023, so I wanna say, yeah, these had to probably drop either 2023 or 2024. But if you're looking at a production date, probably at the beginning of 2024, if I had to guess. So we came out swinging. So again, it's a shoe I don't regret. I'm pretty sure I did a mall pickup blog on this joint right here. And like I said, while red and black and gray are probably like my favorite colors, again, I'm not tied to one color of anything in life. If it looks good, it looks good. I just don't really, you know, I don't really be tripping like that. But this was my Friday shoe, was the Air Jordan 4 Military Blue. All right, man, so pretty much this completes my weekly sneaker rotation for this week. Y'all sign off in the comment section and you let me know what you wore throughout the week as well. I'm gonna do my very, very best to stay on top of the comment section. Other than that, man, I'm gonna go and get out of this thing and start rambling, man. Y'all be sure to hit that like button. It really helps the channel out. And if you know, consider subscribing. I make content about sneakers. Again, my name is Jeremy Jones, and thank you for watching, and I'm out.
I figure out we go, you figure out.